All right, it is time now once again for the Dawn and Eli Take on the World podcast. My name is eliasmelas, but you can call me Eli for short. And who is this very, very lovely and intelligent lady to my right? As always...
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know if you're done.
You were waiting for me to add more adjectives on how beautiful you are and how smart you are to the eternity and back,
crazy.
right?
No, I just wanted to make sure you're done. But anyways, back to
that's
the
a great
here.
comeback. That's a great, I love you.
Yeah, alrighty. So my name is Dawn Ledgerwood, and I am your girlfriend. And I want to say welcome to October, guys. We're already in October. Harvest season.
Absolutely. It's October. Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. This is episode number 29, and today's topic is going to be another great one. Running out of time, life in an age of overload. One more time, episode number 29 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. The title is Running Out of Time, Life in an Age of Overload. And baby, we are extremely overloaded in this crazy, modern, technology-infused world that we live in, huh?
Oh, I think all of us are. We're all overloaded.
Yeah.
In one sense or another, you know? The
right.
Overload is there.
Right. The overload is the perfect word. Before we get into that, as always, how's the past week been, baby, since our last show? Let us know. It's been a pretty nice week, huh?
Well, it's been an up and down emotional week for me. I did have a friend pass this last week, so it was an emotional week for me. But other than that, everything was great. All doctor's appointments were great, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Oh, I know you're feeling great, but I want to send out my condolences to the loss of your friend.
Thank you.
To him, his family, and everyone else that loved him and cared for him and knew him. Do you want to share a little bit about what happened, or do you want to keep that for another time? What do you think?
No, I could share a little bit because it's fresh right now. So I met this guy about 10 years ago, and he was part of the Dart League that I was playing in.
Back in the town that you used to live in Hollister, right?
Yes. Yeah. And so, we'd be there and we'd all be having fun, joking around. And this guy, he just, I never really got a good take on who he was really inside, because he was always putting on some kind of facade.
Like a front.
Yeah.
Right.
He would be joking and all this stuff. And one of his terms of endearment towards the people he did love was he would flip them off. It's kind of like...
That was his sign of love, huh?
Yeah. That was
his love language, right?
Yeah.
It's the middle finger, the bird, right?
Yeah, he's like, fuck you. I love you.
I know a lot of people like that, baby. They say fuck you as a term of endearment, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be smart enough to understand that they're not trying to piss you off. It's just their way of showing love.
Yeah.
And their way of also hiding a deeply scarred and deeply rooted insecurity, right?
Yeah, and I don't know too much on his childhood or his past before I met him. But when I met him, he was working and had a job for a very long time. But he spent most of his nights in the bar drinking. And his two favorite drinks were MGD, which is
Miller Genuine Draft.
Piss water, basically.
I used to drink that in my 20s.
Yeah. And Yukon Gold whiskey, which is freaking disgusting. So he had like the worst taste in alcohol.
The only Yukon Gold I like are the potatoes. They're the best, especially for mashed potatoes, right, baby?
Or no, it's called Yukon Jack.
Oh, Yukon Jack. You were thinking about the potatoes. Yukon Jack.
I had potatoes on my mind. Sorry. But it was the worst.
It's a good thing I interrupted you to correct you, huh?
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Sometimes that's okay, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thank
you. But yeah, that's like the bottom of the shelf of whiskey. And
bottom of the barrel?
Yeah, he had the worst taste in alcohol, which we thought was why he was always so damn grumpy. But he was a softie at heart.
Yeah.
But he was also very depressed and lonely, very lonely in life.
And what did he do to try to cure the depression?
He drank and he made a lot of bar friends and became like a nightly thing there to, fill that void of not having anybody,
Yeah.
He was alone. He was sad, drinking himself to death.
That's what he did?
Yeah.
No disrespect. He drank himself to death.
He did.
His liver, right? His liver
and his kidneys were dead, like literally dead. I hadn't realized this since I moved out here, but he had become homeless and he was, I guess, trying to bum things off of people, whether it was $10 or a beer or a pack of cigarettes or whatever. But he became that desperate. And one morning, a resident in the neighborhood of where he was living homeless at a park, she actually called for an ambulance because she thought he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
He was very like,
the fan is blowing. Your hair in your
I'm
face.
so sorry. Yeah,
it's okay.
But yeah, he was responsive that day, but he refused any medical assistance. And then the next morning, they found him unresponsive in the park, and they just brought him to the hospital. He went straight to ICU. Based on the friends who were there that got to visit him before he passed, they said his urine was black.
Yeah.
And, he was completely yellow. And those are two indicative things of liver failure and kidney failure.
There's nothing they could have done even if they took him in last week. The damage was already done is what you're saying.
Yeah. And so, but he did get to pass in the hospital with friends and family, which, overload. It got to him. Life overload. And it just continued and continued. And I'm sad to say he's only 55 years old.
My God.
4 years older than Eli, 5 older than me. And that is tragic. That is so tragic. And it just shows how life will just put so much on your shoulders every day. And it just overload. You're carrying everything and then you crumble underneath it. It's just, it's unfortunate. It really is.
Well, that's why we do what we do. The dogs are in here in the studio and they know
it's time for a podcast.
They know it's time for the podcast. They already knew that earlier. They were so excited when I set the studio up for the podcast. They get so excited, and
I think they almost know that we record on Sundays. Like they know the days.
It's a schedule. Yeah.
So they're like, oh yeah, today is podcast day.
Right, but going back to what I was saying, this is one of the reasons why I created the GNA. Initially, it was for entrepreneurs, and we also taught personal development, but it was also an emotional support group. And that's my primary focus here, to prevent these situations from happening in the future. Instead of people turning to the bottle for what they need, they can turn to us, people that truly care. If I knew this guy 10, 15 years ago before the damage was irreparable, because when you drink excessively, it doesn't affect you right away, but it will affect you over a 15, 20, 30-year period.
Mm-hmm.
And there was probably still time 10, 15 years ago to reverse most of the damage, but it sounds like he got to the point of where, it was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
And he probably knew it himself. And, another
that caused
thing,
more depression with him.
right. And hey, wow.
They really want to be a part of the podcast.
Oh my God, that freaked me out. The dogs are playing.
Be good, Bubba's.
Wow.
Yes, you want your appearance, huh? Yeah, we hugs. Okay, now you get down. You got your show time.
Oh my!
You got your 5 seconds of fame.
The boys will stop playing in just a few. They'll settle down. They'll get tired. But I hate to say this, but the only way we can help people is by identifying it. It's almost like a form of suicide by drinking yourself to death.
Yeah.
And we want to prevent that. We are here to give you the emotional support that you need.
Or refer you to whom you might need.
Well, yes, they need psychiatric and psychological help. Absolutely. But a lot of people that can't afford that, they can at least come to a group like us, an organization like us, and we can talk with them by phone. And we can, give them the emotional support that they're not getting elsewhere. What I assume happened to this guy is he did not get the emotional support that he needed or wanted.
Well, the emotional support he was getting was in the bar with all the friends that were drinking.
But that's not the right kind of...
That's not the right thing.
Right.
And the sad part is that a lot of this group of friends he has, they did stop drinking, or they stopped drinking to the excess of where they were.
Right, because they didn't want to die.
Yeah, and it was like they were trying to lead by example without really pushing it, and now there's regret that they didn't push it. So you got to go back to, if you see something, say something,
I'm sorry. Those dogs are very distracting. They're going to calm down. But before we move forward, God rest his soul. My condolences to his family, his friends, everyone that knew him, that cared for him. And this just really saddens me. I mean, it just really saddens me. No one should have to turn completely to the bottle to, be able to, address the emotional pain that they're struggling with. We need to be able to better help these people. And I'm going to do whatever I can through the GNA here, along with you and the rest of the people involved, to help as many people as possible.
One thing I do have to say that Eli and I were talking about this right before the show was what was really disrespectful and rude was that the bartender at the bar that we play darts at put out a private message to all of the people that were very close to him, asking us to not put anything on Facebook until they were able to notify all family members, considering his sister is in another hospital in an ICU fighting for her life. Now, I don't know details. I don't know why she's there. I just found this out through, what was said in the message.
Right.
But nobody, like I could say I know 5 people that were posting on Facebook, and I don't know if it got to the family or not, but still the point is you were asked not to do this, to, hold back, grieve your own way. We all don't need to share all of that immediately.
Yeah.
Like, if my best friend passed away today, the last thing I'm looking to do is find my phone and get on Facebook.
I wouldn't be posting so soon on social media, but here's what I was saying.
I would post after a funeral.
Right. Well, here's what I was saying as well. it really is no different than people finding out about it and calling each other or talking about it
Personal.
at a bar or something. But social media just kind of, gives people an easier outlet to put it out there at once. And I think a lot of that has to do with our topic. We're in an age.
Well, I want to just say, I'm so sorry, but I want to finish that up with the overload. So
right. That's what I was going to say.
Now,
go ahead. You're going right into it. Yeah.
So with everybody doing this, the family got inundated with all of the information and has total overload and doesn't know which way to turn.
Right.
And the one sibling sister in the hospital has not had a good reaction to this because she did find out on Facebook. And it's a tragedy, like, to find out something like that.
Yeah.
Find out your brother died and nobody told you. So that's where all of this information overload. You're putting all this information out online, and it's too much for some people. You never know what your action is going to cause for reaction for somebody who's at their limit. You're
absolutely right. The thing is, I mean,
what are you going to do?
There's really not much we can do about it. We can continue to talk about it, raise awareness. But people are going to be people. And if they have the option of social media nowadays, that's where most people turn to. It's the easiest way to get the information out there quicker or to feel like they've done their part without having to call 10 or 100 people. They can just put it on their Facebook and that's it. And we're going to get into that starting right now, if that's okay with you, baby, unless you have anything else to mention.
Oh, no. That wraps up the whole story about my friend and how it relates to our show. Yeah. So go right ahead.
And everything else this week has been smooth sailing.
Oh, smooth sailing.
You talked with your mother a few times. You had great conversations. We're trying to plan her 70th birthday, and that's going to be great.
Yeah. We had a little hiccup on dates that things couldn't work out between my brothers or my mom or us or whatever. So we've found a date. I'm not going to tell y'all when it is, but we found a date.
Oh, I don't even know. So you actually came up with a date?
Yes, we did. That everybody is available.
Okay. And you don't have to say where it is, but it's at the place where
I originally said.
Which is closer to home because, typically, Dawn's family lives 3 to 4 hours away from us.
Maybe
3.5 to 3.5 hours between all of them. The furthest one is 3.5 hours. The closest one is her parents, 3 hours. And typically Dawn and I are driving 3 to 3.5 hours to go to these events. But this time they're coming closer to our area. It's only going to be like a little over an hour drive. And I'm like, with everything, there's a lot of stuff going on that we're trying to prepare to take the GNA to the next level in 2026, that saving me at least 2.5 hours each way on the drive is a blessing in disguise, right? Or just a blessing in general.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because essentially with the drive being shorter, we get to spend more time with them. We don't have to just cut it short because we got to get back on the road because it's going to take us
on the
3
road
hours,
again.
3 hours to get home. Yes.
Right.
So, yeah. I'm sorry, the dogs.
They're still they're gonna crash out in a little bit. They're gonna calm down. But let's go ahead and segue into
let's seg
episode number 29. Running out of time, life in an age of overload. Let me start off by asking you, and you don't have to go into a lot of detail, babe, because I have a lot of questions for you. So I know you're very detail oriented like me, but I'm just letting you know that there's a lot of questions.
Okay. Let's go.
So let me start off by asking you, do you ever feel like the faster life gets, the less you actually get done?
Yes.
Why?
Yes and no. Okay, yes, because there's so many things to get done now. I just don't feel like I have enough time So I'm not getting as much done as I used to in my younger years. But I do appreciate the wisdom that I have in my age and using that to make my decisions.
It's interesting. You look like you're on a beach, but you're actually in front of a keyboard that says information overload. That's our background. But it's like we're in a studio here. We got a fan to keep us cool, but your hair is blowing like you're on the beach, like a chick on Baywatch.
Should I go put the bikini on?
And I'm David Hasselhoff.
Oh God,
the younger version.
Still a laugh. I don't. You know what? I never got David Hasselhoff as being good looking. I don't get it. Just
he
me?
was Michael Knight.
Yeah, he was a Knight Rider.
Knight Rider, yeah.
See, we're in sync.
I used to love the original Knight Rider. Then NBC brought it back for one season.
And it wasn't
over
that
10
good.
years ago, it lasted one season. I really would have wished it would have lasted longer. But those NBC sequels and stuff, they never last. It seems like they never want to invest too much money into them. But anyway,
CBS does a better job.
Yeah, they actually do. CBS does a phenomenal job because they're with Paramount.
Yeah, they have like Hawaii Five-0. They have MacGyver. Yeah. So those ones that are reboots.
They always last. But NBC just can't seem to get the sequels, or the spin-offs, they call them the spin-offs. They never get that right for some reason. But anyway, all right. Anything else?
No.
Okay. So why do you think everyone feels short on time, even though technology keeps promising to save it, meaning save time? Technology is supposed to cut our workload, right?
Yes. The problem is a lot of people don't understand the technology they're working with that's helping them. That's a huge problem.
But even if they do,
and there's only 24 hours in the day, and
they try to cram more in.
Like in. Me. Yeah. And so, you get, it does help you, but then because it's helping you so quick, it's like a drug. You want to do more and more and more, because you're getting more done.
Right. So with that being said, what does overload mean to you personally? Is it mental, emotional, or both?
Both.
Why?
Well, typically it'll start with an emotion, a feel, people call them. Mm-hmm. And then it all determines on where that feel goes into emotion, like whether or not I'm angry or I'm sad, something like that. So,
yeah.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So when you hit that wall, what's the first sign that tells you you're stretched too thin, babe?
For me, I do cry on the drop of a hat, but when I get so frustrated, I just cry, that's it. I hit the limit and I cry because I feel like I just can't push through at times, Sorry. Maybe that's a little better. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. You moved it
just
away directly from you. So you don't look like you're on a beach on the show Baywatch.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's all good. It was fine. It was fine. I was just listening.
It was more distracting to me than I think everybody else.
We could do anything in here. We have green screen. We've got professional microphones. We could do whatever in here, baby.
Oh, I know.
We could put you in a bikini and have that fan, whip your hair around, and you'd look all hot and sexy. We could pretend I'm on a beach. Right.
Right.
We can even animate the background to pretend like there's actually water there. Yep.
But you know what? They'd all have a field day if I walked out here in a bikini.
We could just we could put an AI version of you out there, baby.
Oh, hell no. I don't need an AI version. That's the thing.
I don't
need AI to make me look good.
She's au natural.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm just saying they'd all be jelly.
Mm-hmm. All right, babe. So today we're diving deep into how this constant overload shapes our focus, our empathy, and even our sense of self. Let's get into the first segment here. Okay, we're going to dive deeply into this. And the first segment is the speed trap. Let me ask you, babe, when did you first notice that everything around us started moving faster, not just the internet, but life itself?
When I had kids.
Oh.
Seriously, there are not enough hours in the day when you have little children, you know?
Okay.
They require so much attention, and you have like barely enough time to take a shower by yourself when they're young.
Okay.
You know, and so there's that emotional overload. Like, my God, there's not even enough hours in the day that I can take a shit and a shower by myself. You know, so it really started back then.
And back then, we're looking at what, almost 25 years ago?
30
years ago. Back then, social media was not created yet. So we didn't have the social media distraction. The internet was just coming onto the scene with dial-up. So we weren't as immersed in this digital world.
Back then, it was more of just like looking things up. You know, we didn't have like social media connections like they do. If we did,
streaming, anything like that.
Yeah, if we did, it was like, what is that? AOL, like, what did they have?
Dial-up.
Yeah.
They had chat.
Yeah.
You could still send like digital images, but they were lower, horrible quality.
Like pixelated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we didn't have all of that. So, you know, I'm thinking back then, how did that impact me? Well, in a relationship, a marriage where two people basically we call them passing ships in the night because we work shift work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a lot that we had to coordinate without speaking to each other, because back then also, like when I was married and had kids, I had a cell phone, you know, but the cell phones were not like cell phones of today. You know,
the cell phones of today are computers in your pocket.
Exactly.
With a phone application.
So not much. They didn't keep your calendars. They didn't do anything like that. So you still had the big calendar up with all the little Post-its of where people needed to go and what time. And now we just block out times on our calendar, you know, in our phone.
Digitally.
Yeah, in our phone.
And we set an alarm to remind us.
Yeah.
Some crazy, loud, obnoxious alarm that the whole block can hear in your neighborhood.
Because your life now is so busy that you don't even remember the little stuff like, oh shit, I got to go get the kids.
Right.
Yeah. So
let me ask you this, babe. Do you think technology actually made our lives better or just faster?
Both.
Okay. Fair enough. Why?
I think that, you know, the internet and the advances have definitely helped, I think, keep us more organized. They keep us in communication via text, like instant right then and there. So it's given us more opportunities, because like back when our parents were working, like I don't know, but my mom didn't call my dad at work at all. Like, he didn't know anything about life until he walked through the door when he got home. I think it's the same with your mom. He went to work and he's left alone to work. So, you know, a lot of times, you know, like now.
Well, back in those days, if you needed to talk with someone, cell phones were just coming on the scene, but they were expensive. So not many people had them. So you had to use a landline phone and say, hey, can I speak to
so-and-so.
Mrs. Melas, please?
Yeah. And so now, you know, you'd always hear when we were growing up, or I did, oh, you better wait till your father gets home, you know? And now dad already knows before he comes home. He already knows that second, and he's on the phone with the kid.
Well, SMS, text messages, you know, short messaging service. And if you have an iPhone, you have iMessage, which basically, you know, if you go from iPhone to iPhone, it's like sending a direct instant message. And if you're texting someone that's not on an iPhone, it goes through as a regular SMS. So with text messaging, SMS service, which has been around even before the iPhones and the Android phones came out, that has tremendously changed the way we communicate. We don't even really talk anymore.
No. And, I even think about it sometimes, we have the Life 360 on our phone, and I have it with my mom. And
me too.
What?
I'm on it too.
Yeah, that's why I said we have it and I have my mom.
Right.
And so it's like sometimes I'm like, is he almost home? I look at that and I can see exactly where he is on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So I know if he's going to be home in 10 minutes or 20 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I could literally watch him drive home and know he's safe. Mm-hmm. Same with my mom. Yeah, it sounds creepy. You get to know where your partner is and all that shit. Mm-hmm. But it actually does give a peace of mind.
It gives peace of mind
because you know what?
I'm not going off to some other chick. Or anything.
That's not my thought.
I would never do that.
That's not my thought. It's that I know it takes you about 20 minutes from the time you end your show on your walk till you about get home.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So if it's exceeding that time, I will check and see, because maybe
you went to go get some food or
you got some food, or you stopped at 7-Eleven, mm-hmm. or whatever, and then I know that he hasn't crashed somewhere, mm-hmm. and is unable to contact me. So mm-hmm. so I find relief from having that opportunity.
Yeah. So those aspects are fantastic.
Yeah.
There are many great technological advancements that we now can use our smartphones through applications to better our lives.
Now, as far as the flip side of that question, it doesn't give us any more time in the day.
No.
What it does is it piques our knowledge, or piques our curiosity more. When we're sitting here and we're researching something, and then something else like refers you to that, then you get into that. And then you just find yourself engulfed in that. And yeah, maybe you were supposed to get ready an hour ago to go have dinner with somebody, but now mm-hmm. you're like, oh shit, I'm an hour late.
Right.
And yeah, it's just like, that's what happens a lot. And especially I think that happens with Eli here.
Yep.
Is because he's working, and I'm like, okay, we have a doctor's appointment at such and such time. You need to stop on the computer by this time, you know?
Right.
And so, that helps. But yeah, before you get away from yourself, I get away from myself on the phone, sometimes I get into something, I'm messaging somebody, or I'm, just looking things up. I just get stuck there, and that takes time away from my life so that I could be doing something productive.
Absolutely. Let me ask you, babe, do you think rest or stillness now feels like something we have to justify because we've been so immersed, constantly doing things with these smartphones, especially that are attached to that are attached to our hips 24/7? Do you feel that rest or stillness now feels like something we have to justify?
Yeah, because I know, like, sometimes people understood me because I was not well. But if, Eli gets up and then he comes back around 10 o'clock and he's like, I'm going to take a nap for a couple hours before I get started on the next thing. That's what people are doing. But I think they have to be like justified. Like, well, I stayed up until like 5 a.m. Mm-hmm. So that's why I took a nap at 10 a.m.
Right.
Right. And so when it just really, the truth is you're exhausted. You're mentally, physically exhausted. Your eyes hurt. Your brain hurts. Shit, your ass hurts from sitting on it.
Screen can exhaust you mentally, which affects your emotional state. I think, when you're constantly looking at that screen, especially if you're curious about something in progress, like a sporting game, if you're not watching it on TV, or if it's not available in your area and you want to get the information, or if something is happening in our government and you want up to the minute results.
Or catastrophe,
Yeah.
like earthquake, hurricane.
Back in the days, even in the early days of the internet before smartphones, we would have to get on our laptop or desktop to seek that information. And before that, we would have to wait for the nightly news, or if there was an emergency news break for an emergency during the day. Right?
Remember the 89 earthquake?
Yeah.
Like my dad was working out in this area of, where we live. He was Palo Alto. But when that earthquake hit, my mother could not get a hold of my father to find out if he was, piled up under something or anything.
Oh, the phone lines were jammed.
Because everything was jammed. I mean, my grandmother was on the phone with my mom as it was happening. And then it just scared the hell out of my grandmother because the phones just died.
Yeah, there were cell phones then, but they were like either attached to your car or with a bag that had a big brick.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a bag that had a big brick battery in it, right? And those were very expensive. But the whole entire phone network, when something like that happens, gets overloaded.
Yeah, and my dad did have one of the ones in the car installed, but the phone lines were down. My mom couldn't call him.
You know what they would say back in those days? I remember the exact phrasing. This is how my brain remembers things. Do-no-no. We're sorry.
Oh.
All circuits are busy now.
Right now.
Please try your call again later.
Yeah.
All circuits are busy now, right? Because yes, there's a large amount of capacity through a phone company's network. But when you have millions of people trying to make calls at one time, at the same exact time, that's with
a fraction of the towers we have today and satellites.
Well, we have far greater capacity today than we did in '89. But even then, you can still overload the system even with modern technology. It's less likely nowadays, but back then we did not have the technological advancements that we have today. So that's a very good point. All right, so should we move forward?
Yeah.
All right, segment 2, cognitive overload. This is a good one. Baby.
How long is this one?
Oh, we got about 10 to 12 minutes here. Why? You have to go to the restroom already, huh? Do you want to go through segment 2 first?
Sure.
Okay. Segment 2, cognitive overload. Let me ask you, babe, have you noticed your attention span changing over the years?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Please elaborate.
My attention span, it's decreased so much.
Why?
I have other things to do. So it's like, I don't have time to sit there and like listen and be all detailed oriented. And I think that's from like text messaging. It's like, just get to the point, don't go through a long old spiel of a story. Just tell me exactly what you want to tell me. And that's the beauty of what text messaging was.
That's why they call it short messaging service, which was limited, I believe, initially to 160 characters. But now you can send an unlimited amount.
Yeah.
It may just break it down into multiple messages or even just put it all together. The technology's gotten better to where short messaging service is not even the proper name for it. It's just messaging service.
Well, now because we can record them with our voice and it'll just type it all out.
Sure, you can record them with your voice. You can send instant messages through Facebook Messenger or another messaging program, right?
Yeah.
You have so many options to communicate, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you think the smartphone distracts you?
Oh, God, yeah.
Is that the worst culprit? Because I feel that's the worst culprit.
I do as well. I mean, worst culprit.
But go ahead.
Worst culprit, but most needed product. Yeah.
What's that?
I think most needed product in the world. Like everybody needs to have a cell phone.
Well, yeah.
We rely on it for our alarms, the time, our appointments, our grocery lists, like everything. We rely on phone numbers from people we hardly talk to. Mm-hmm. Just it became simple, and it was exciting to have this tiny little computer in your pocket, you know?
Right.
And it's funny. They were tiny. They were so tiny.
Yeah.
I remember my kid's first phone was like, God, I don't even know, like maybe this thick. It was like super thin. And I think it was like one of the slider phones that slid open and around for the
Oh,
keyboard.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what those phones were called, but they were like really tiny, like skinny. Like, but anyways.
Like the Motorola Razr?
Maybe that's
the flip phone.
Well, not just flip up. This one slid.
You're talking about like this.
Like, okay, it's like this, like closed, and then it slides open. So keyboard is here and screen is there.
Oh, are you talking like the BlackBerry and stuff?
No. It's tiny. Like, it's half this, like a third of the size of the phone.
Yeah, that was just probably a design that was made just to add a keyboard in there. That's before we had actual smartphones that integrate the keyboard on the screen.
Yeah, the flip phones started and you just had your numbers with the letters.
Right.
And then
they called it predictive texting, T9 predictive texting, and then they put a full keyboard on it.
And then that's when they started doing the ones that flipped up with the whole keyboard, but hers like just slid across.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're wasting time on our stupid phone. But my point is that they were so tiny back then.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I mean, it makes sense. They had to become bigger because they are holding, so much information. We need so many apps are on the phone you need to have.
Well, they're a computer.
They
with
are
a phone
a
application.
computer.
That's all they are. It's a smaller pocket computer with a phone application. There aren't actual numbers like back in the days. The numbers are digital when you open up the phone app. And that's all it is. And, just making a device like that completely just all digital, you can do whatever. You can program whatever you want it to do. You can create any application. That the possibilities are endless as long as you have an internet connection, 5G now, or when you're at home, you can also have it hook up to your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Which is what we do. And as long as you have enough storage space and memory, which most of these newer phones have plenty of memory and storage space, it's just unbelievable what we carry in our pockets everywhere we go. And we even sleep right next to them. We wake up to them.
Yeah.
We even go take a shit with them, like you're saying. It's like our newspaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I mean, they did a poll. I was reading about this, but they did a poll here in America on what is the first thing you reach for in the morning when you wake up.
What's your phone?
90% said phone.
Absolutely.
The others were like glasses and the light. So like logical things there, but most of the population, they go right for their phone.
You're absolutely right.
I am not a part of that population anymore.
I got 3 more questions for you, then you can go ahead and take your break, if that's okay.
Yeah.
When you catch yourself multitasking, what emotion drives it most? Pressure, habit, or fear of falling behind?
Habit.
So it's not even FOMO, fear of missing out. It's just habit.
Excuse me, yeah.
Your brain has been trained to react to a notification sound or a vibration sound, and you just feel like you've got to check it because it could be your mother with an emergency, or your daughter, or your son, or something important. And then you see it's something like a
Temu ad.
Yeah, Temu ad, or a political thing, or a sporting event or something, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you react instantly.
I don't.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes I
So do I.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I kind of make it like not a rule, but I try to not check my phone every time it makes a sound. I know the difference with my notifications and what it sounds like for text or for Facebook Messenger. So I differentiate what I need to look at. Sometimes it's just stupid news break things. Sometimes it's a YouTube video that's out there. You know? Are you talking to Mama? Are you?
We don't have to put out what we're talking to.
Oh, I just asked if you were talking to your mom. That's the only one you really, honestly, only interrupt your podcast for.
Yes.
That's
I sent
why
my
I was
mother
asking.
a text message.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't really feel we needed to put that out there on the podcast.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, let's just say
it's her birthday.
Today is her
setting up her birthday.
Yeah. And we are recording this on what day? Sunday, October
5th, 2025, and it'll be released throughout the entire podcast network, audio only, and YouTube on Wednesday, October 8th, 2025.
Yes. So happy birthday, Mama.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, we're going to be, we're talking about planning our evening with her. So that's the only reason why I brought it up, dude. Chill.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying, it's like not a big deal. I want to try to keep some things a little more.
I understand.
Yeah. No big deal. You didn't make a mistake. She's looking like, oh, he thinks I made a mistake. No, it's all good. Let's continue here.
Yeah.
Do you think our society rewards being busy more than being balanced?
No.
You don't feel that way.
I don't. I'm talking on a personal. Yeah,
right.
No.
And I don't feel that way. But I think the later generations, the millennials, the Gen Zers, and now the Alpha generation, I think they've been pre-programmed through this world that's consumed by these smartphones and other portable devices that, they probably all feel that the more active you are, the more society rewards you. And it is true. The more controversial shit you put out there about yourself on social media, the more attention you get. And that gives people a false sense of acceptance, a false sense of, validation and stuff like that. Right? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think you're talking about the generations after ours. Yeah, you know what I think they do? Honestly, I think they like overbook themselves, and so they can make themselves look like they're needed somewhere else. Like, oh, I have an appointment like right after this. So, like makes them sound like, oh, I'm important. I have to be somewhere else. And, or vice versa. Oh, I left this event to be here for you, in your event because you're more important. It's like they're playing that game and they're constantly doing it. And that has to be exhausting.
Yeah. Totally understand.
That's why I'm like, I don't like doing that. I don't like to, if I'm going to do something throughout the day, have activities, I'm making sure that they are far enough apart that I don't feel pressure and I don't disrespect the person by being late.
So you don't feel overloaded.
Overloaded, yeah. And it's just a matter of respect for everybody.
See that on our screen there?
Right there.
It says information.
Oh, look,
overload.
I'm Vanna.
No, you got it right. You're right there. You know how to use the green screen properly. Yes, we're not in front of this picture, actually. We're in front of a screen that's completely green. Yeah, I think people know that.
Does it take lots of brains to figure out a green screen? I mean...
No. Basically, the camera and the software automatically blends out anything that's green.
I'm making a joke.
That's why if we were to wear green, it would like blend us out. And it would not work. That's why with a green screen, you can't wear anything green or have anything green.
Well, I don't have anything green.
No, if you did, I would tell you because I would see it before we started recording the show.
Well, yeah, but in my wardrobe, I don't have anything green.
Fair enough. Okay. Final question and then first break for you. If you could teach one mental habit that protects focus, what would it be? You should be the master of this.
One thing that protects...
If you could teach one mental habit that protects focus, what would it be?
That protects focus.
I think setting boundaries over,
Yeah.
when to look at your phone or not, or when to check notifications.
Oh, well, yeah,
I mean,
I just
that's what I
mentioned
think.
that. Oh my God, are you serious? He just jumped up like and nailed me with his head. I'm sorry, guys.
Both dogs. Yeah.
But yeah. Say what you're saying again. That really distracted
So
me.
if you could teach one mental habit that protects focus, what would it be?
And you said boundaries.
Boundaries and having some restraint.
Respect.
Respecting, okay, for example, we're going to have dinner with my mother tonight.
Yes.
Okay. It's her birthday. The boundary that I would set and that you would set is to not be constantly looking at our phones, every 2 minutes or every minute or whatever, maybe every 15, 20 minutes in case of an emergency. And I can understand that in any situation. But when you're at a special event or, having a birthday dinner with someone like my mother, the primary focus should be on her and the conversation that we're having in reality, not what's happening digitally not what's happening digitally at that moment.
Yeah. My phone will stay in my purse unless we take it out to take a photo of the occasion,
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it should be.
Okay. All right. We are at 51 minutes. We're going to blitz through the rest of the questions after you come back from break and then get into one Reddit post, and it's going to take a while, and you're going to see how it all ties into this. Very interesting. So let me turn off the camera. Dawn's going to step away for her first break. I say first because I'm thinking there might be two. And while Dawn is on her break, let me remind all of you that are listening to us on the audio-only podcast network. We are on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, my lady's favorite, iHeartRadio. We're also on Amazon's Audible. Amazon has music and Audible, two different ways to pump out podcasts. We're also on YouTube's Music. And we're also on many other not as popular or less known audio-only podcast networks. If you're listening to us audio-only wherever you're listening to us at, you can go in the description section of that audio-only site where you're listening to us at, and you'll see a link there to the video version of our podcast, which is basically the same thing, just with added video. We actually record the video and audio together, and we extract the audio from the video for the audio-only podcast network. If you want to watch the video, you can click that link. That'll take you back to our main YouTube channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. GNA is short for Genuine Networking Association. That's my organization that I founded back in 2011. And when you go over there, make sure you subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications so you don't miss anything. You can also go below in the description of that video once you get there. You'll see a link to our secondary YouTube channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where we do live content almost daily, if not daily, almost daily. I do Walking with Purpose streams, and sometimes Dawn will join me on these Walking with Purpose streams. They're more so informal. They do have a topic, and we do discuss a topic, but the primary purpose of the show is to engage the audience, answer their questions regarding any current events that are happening in the world or any personal development issues or any things that they're going through. We can support them and give them the right advice and share with them through our experiences what we feel the best course of action is, what the next step is. So make sure you subscribe, bang the bell, and select the notifications on GNA2 as well, which is the Genuine Live Personal Development channel. And then that way you will be fully connected with us. Sometimes we even I'm looking at Dawn through the camera, and Dawn is coming back into the room. We will turn on the video in just a second here. Sometimes we'll do some in-studio live streams, Dawn, or just myself. If something major comes up that I didn't have a chance to discuss on a walk that I may have done live that day, I may go live from the studio, or there may be some other reasons to go live from the studio. So make sure you subscribe to both channels, GNA, Genuine Personal Development, and GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. So that is that. Are you ready to come
I am
back?
so ready,
She
baby.
is ready. I'm going to turn on the
So
camera
much better.
again, and we are in sync. All right. Let us continue. Segment 3, emotional bandwidth collapse.
Ooh, okay.
Emotional bandwidth collapse. And we're not talking about internet bandwidth. We're talking about
brain
bandwidth, right? Let me ask you, babe, do you think constant exposure to bad news has numbed people emotionally?
Yes.
That's a hell of a question.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I can speak for myself and many of my friends right now, currently, because in Hollister, in just the last 3 years that I've lived here, I think I've lost 5 people, and all friends, and which affects all of us, and constant, like, seeing your friends deteriorate.
Mm-hmm.
And especially my girlfriend, who's the bartender, and she's watching all of this, and then she feels guilt
because she's serving them alcohol,
because she's serving them, and she's like seriously watching them.
She's seen them die right in front of her.
Yeah, and she can't do anything about it. Like, she'll tell them, like, you shouldn't be drinking, dude.
She could cut them off if they've had too much. She has the right to do that. But if they haven't had enough according to a certain legal limit, then
or if they're not acting right, she can kick them out. But
she has to have a legitimate reason to do so.
Yeah, and everybody has the right to go in there and drink as long as they're not an ass about it.
Right. And also, she's getting tipped by these people that are, in essence, killing themselves by drinking excessive alcohol. So what kind of position does that put her in as a bartender?
Oh, that's major emotional overload.
Oh, that's, yeah.
I mean, I know personally that she cries, like, and she's like, she said she's so glad she's not bartending.
She's not bartending anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
not going to contribute to that anymore. And
it finally took a toll on her in her mid 40s.
Yeah. She actually threw, like, literally the towel at her ex-boss at the bar, and was like, you know what? This is not worth it. And she went out. It took her a minute, but she found something really good in a completely different line of work that's actually really good, legitimate work.
Yeah.
So, not that being a bartender isn't good, legitimate work, but this, she can feel a lot better because she's helping other people in a more positive light.
Absolutely.
That's all I'll say.
Well, I've got a great follow-up question here. And this has hit me tremendously, and I'm sure I've seen it hit you too. But, babe, how do you handle compassion fatigue, that feeling when you care but can't care anymore?
Ooh.
That's a great question, because there are so many things going on because of our smartphones and the internet. You're dealing with so many things within yourself, within me, and then you got family stuff, and then you see these things happening to your friends, and then you see what's happening on social media, and then politics and all that. How has this created compassion fatigue to you? And if so, how?
Compassionate fatigue?
Compassion fatigue, meaning that you're burnt out because there are so many things that require you, or most normal people would be compassionate towards, but there's so many things going on that you're fatigued with your compassion.
I wouldn't say that I've become fatigued with my compassion as much as my empathy towards people that do this to themselves. We've all, talked to our friends. We've had partners talk to their partners. my partner helped me. And it all comes down to a matter of life and death and whether or not you're ready to make that change.
That's true.
And you know what?
Yeah.
It came to me almost dying, literally almost dying, to say, you know what? Shit, that ain't worth it no more. Like, I want to live. It
was neurological for you because fortunately, you weren't drinking enough to affect your liver. Your liver is fine and everything, is fine. Thank God. But
had I continued,
it could have gone there.
Yes. And so I'm thankful that I listened to God, basically.
She didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
No.
I had a fat talk, like heart to heart with God. And he's like, wake up.
After a little over a year ago, after having 3 cluster seizures in one day.
I think that was him smacking the shit out of me.
That was the turning point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, I just wish some of these other people. Now, the one that just passed, I cannot speak on any extracurricular drugs that he had done.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very, very, he smoked like a chimney, like just cigarettes.
Didn't help.
He wasn't into weed. I don't know if when they went on their little club things, because I know that Coke was going around there. I don't know if he ever tried it, but the other ones, one in particular, he was really bad into meth, and that with the drinking, poor hygiene, all of that, he had a heart attack. His liver didn't kill him, his kidneys didn't kill him, his brain didn't kill him, his heart said no more.
Well, you know what, babe? I do suffer from compassion fatigue. And I think it's hit me more, in my opinion, than it's hit you. Because I've been doing the social media YouTube thing, I've been a content creator longer than you. Well, I've also been through a lot more than you have. You were integrated into a lot of stuff I was dealing with when you started dating me 4 years ago. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, because I was going to say, Facebook, before I got into the YouTube scene, that was mild. I mean, people might say something nasty, but it wasn't bad. And you know what? Facebook was really good about putting people in Facebook jail.
Right.
For a long time.
YouTube is not good at that.
No, not at all. And when I started.
As long as you're profitable, YouTube is like, yay.
Yay.
Continue harassing people and continue to defame people and all that. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's what they're thinking. Go ahead.
Yes,
in
exactly.
My opinion, of
course. And then going into that YouTube world where it wasn't regulated with the hate speech that goes on. And that was an eye opener, and that was very overwhelming. Yeah. And because, I might get 2 Facebook notifications a day, but I'm getting like inundated with YouTube, with just different community posts, different shows, live shows, or pre-recorded shows. And it just doesn't stem on him. Now I'm just kind of hooked on all these other people that were part of our community. And so, focusing on, those 2 other people that are in our community. I'm following their pages now, and so it's overwhelming. I get all of this stuff on my phone and I feel like, okay, well, I have to watch her show or I have to watch his show because they support us, so we should support them.
And that's a common thing that a lot of people struggle with. It's like, okay, in order for people to support us, we have to support them. It's nearly impossible. You do the best you can.
Yeah.
To support everyone as best as possible. At some point, it's just not possible. And that way you have to get, and in that sense, I mean, you have to get better at blanketing your message to the point of where you make people aware. I love everyone. I wish I had the time to personally thank everyone, but that's just not possible. If you were in my shoes, you would feel the same way. Please, we love everyone here. It's just not possible to, individualize things at a certain point. Once you go to a certain level, you got to find a way to consolidate things.
Well, and I think that's the difference with you on YouTube. You run a business on YouTube, and a lot of other people are just there just to be a part of it, but they don't run a business. They have a channel and they follow a bunch of different
they're
other
technically
people.
consumers or potential customers.
Yes.
And even if they're not donating or paying us any money, there is a free aspect, and them just being there, we're monetized. We have ad revenue. Every time someone clicks into one of our live streams or videos, we get a little bit of ad revenue,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
not only that, but we know we've helped people.
We have.
We may not have had them on the show to represent how we've helped that person, but we have been told by several people that what we have said has helped them in a certain way. And so we don't need documentation or receipts of how many people we helped. That doesn't matter, because every time we go out there, we hope to help one more person. And that's all. If we can reach one more individual, then we've done our job.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I wanted to tell you before. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, because I really want to get to my response, but go ahead.
Well, when I got up to go out for my break, the reason he was acting crazy, Bochi was thirsty. He went in there and drank so much water vigorously that he just needed to hydrate himself. So that's why he was acting crazy.
Now he's laying down calmly on the other side over there.
Yeah. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go on with your question.
No worries. It's no big deal. It's okay. I was just going to quickly mention that I do have compassion fatigue. It doesn't mean I don't care about everyone in general and wish the best for everyone. I do. But compassion fatigue has happened to me because I've dealt with so many people, and I've seen so many people on YouTube that create certain types of content that is what's the best way to put it? Like Chris Cuomo says, outrageous type of content. They make up things, they stretch the truth, they lie. And they do it just to get clicks and make money. And, I have no compassion for people that do that, because they know they're doing that. They're trying to basically cater content to their audience and make it appear like it's real, when most of us know it's not real. And they're trying to show two faces. This is my online persona. This is my real life persona. And listen, if you're doing bullshit on the internet to make money, that to me is who you really are. Like you just can't be anything besides how you present yourself, especially if that's how you make your money. How you make your money shows to me the kind of person you are. If you're creating outrageous, vile, fake content, defamatory content, harassing content, you stretch the truth, right?
Fake news,
propaganda, fake propaganda, right? Like people on the far right and MAGAs, they do that all the time, right? If you're doing that, that defines who you are, and that deserves zero compassion from me.
Or attention.
And that, same thing, yeah, or attention, right? It's just, it's basically fatigued me. I don't feel sorry for those people. Initially, I did, but when you see them continuing to do the same things year after year after year, like many creators on YouTube do the same thing, you try to be compassionate at first, and then it doesn't make a difference, and then you just lose that compassion feeling, and you go into compassion fatigue. This was perfectly stated, don't you think?
Yeah.
So let's go on here real quick. Why do you think people mistake scrolling for connecting, babe? Scrolling on your phone.
Yeah. I don't know how anybody could think scrolling is connecting.
Well, just because you don't feel that way, and I don't feel that way.
Maybe they feel that way because they're seeing everybody's life being online, and they're scrolling through, and they're just taking notes and stuff, and so they feel like they're part of it. I don't know. I mean,
most of us have anywhere from 50 to 100 apps at least on our phones nowadays.
Yeah.
And if we have notifications on for all of them, we have our own personal notification feed when we wake up and throughout the day.
Yeah.
We're constantly scrolling to see, are there any messages on Facebook Messenger? Or is there anything on YouTube? Is there anything on Facebook? Is there anything on LinkedIn? Is there anything on Reddit?
Is there anything on my email, my
text? Look at all this stuff that's coming at us, and we're scrolling. And I wanted to mention that because that clarifies it a little bit more.
Well, yeah.
Why do you think these people mistake scrolling for connecting? Is this a false sense of feeling acceptance? Is this a false sense of participating in the real world, or what?
I
do you think it
believe
is?
So. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I believe a lot of people scroll, and they just get basic information, and then they think they know everything. They'll just get a basic update.
You're right.
And
they think they're an expert.
Right. And it could be as stupid as an update on somebody's Facebook profile that then you completely are analyzing this person in a different way just because of what they've said. I do have a perfect example, but I'm not going to use it because it has to do with me and a family member.
Okay, we can save that for another time when it would be more appropriate, right? You see, yes. I'm getting a lot better at respecting your boundaries. I'm learning to actually really love the word boundaries now. And there's a reason for that. I mentioned it before. I won't say it again.
Yeah, but for our audience, I do tend to be very reserved and now restricted with what I reveal in my personal life. I realize being open and honest with people only gives them the tools to destroy me.
Yeah.
And so no more, honey.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Let me ask you this last part of the third segment, babe. When was the last time you truly felt present? No tabs open, no notifications, just you. Tabs could be like a web page tab or a tab on even your phone has web browsers or notifications, etc. When was the last time you truly felt present? Just you. No notifications, no tabs open.
When I'm asleep.
So only when you're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would have to agree. I would have to agree. That's another thing I really want to focus on here at the GNA is helping people disconnect more often throughout the days. Maybe not during the business day, because if it's for your business, that's what makes you your money. That's what pays you your bills. I can understand like Monday through Friday. I mean, you're going to be constantly on devices, computers, and everything between like, let's say 7 in the morning and maybe 5 or 6 at night, right? But after 6 p.m., I think people should set some boundaries. And I'm not saying don't look at your phone ever, but say, hey, I'll check it every 30 minutes or every 45 minutes or every hour.
If you're having dinner, you check your phone before you go ahead and sit down and have dinner, and then you don't check it until you're done eating. That doesn't take any more than 20 minutes at the most, guys.
Right.
There's no reason to check your phone in the 20 minutes you're eating.
Okay. We've got one more segment here before we get to this amazing Reddit posting that goes right along with this. It's going to be very interesting when we get into that. Segment 4 is reset moment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, babe, if you had to suggest one small daily reset that really helps you slow down, what would it be?
My shower, because I'm by myself and I could take as much time as I want in there, whether it's to think, whether it's just to be alone. or whatnot. But that's honestly where I feel the most peace, because you know what? My phone is not accessible. I'm not one of those fuckers that puts it in a plastic bag and brings it in the damn shower.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like
Well,
that.
these phones are actually waterproof
Yeah.
to a certain extent, but you don't want to get them wet intentionally.
No. I mean, it's just...
They're water resistant is what they say.
Yeah.
But, pretty much almost the same thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. That they're so water resistant that if you sneeze hard enough, they're like, ooh, water detected.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. But anyways, yeah. That was my point.
For me, it's my Epsom salt baths. I'll tell you why. Because, sometimes we'll take a bath together as a couple, and sometimes I just want to take a bath on my own. Not because I don't want you there, but because that gives me, I can put on whatever I want to watch on YouTube. It won't affect you. And it also just gives me time to recalibrate to be a better man in our relationship for you.
Yeah, and I would say the same also.
Yeah.
Me taking a bath and just listening to my music and just eyes closed, that's a good, safe space to, really, clear your thoughts.
Except right now, Dawn's not taking baths on her own because of the potential of seizures, that if she has a seizure while she's in the bath, she could technically drown.
Yeah, but you know what? You do give me the privacy enough to sit, quietly, right there and not speak to me during that time, because that's the point, is I don't want any conversation. I just want music.
You want peace and quiet, your music. You it's like your therapy session, your recharge, your reset moment.
Yeah, I want to get through my thoughts. I want to process my thoughts and get them into the right category,
because I have sciatica. For me, taking the Epsom salt bath with muscle soak, just laying in there, that helps relax me. The magnesium is very good for you in Epsom salt baths. And I'll soak for at least an hour. I mean, if I'm on a time crunch, the very least 30 minutes, but you really start getting the most benefit if you soak for at least an hour. Mm-hmm. They say you can get benefit after 20 minutes, but no. I've noticed for me personally, my sciatica is more subsided, and I feel a lot more looser. And I think it also has to do with the fact that I'm actually just resting. And maybe I may be watching a YouTube video, or I'm typically watching self-help videos on YouTube. That's what I watch. That's therapeutic to me. Not having to flip through notifications or checking emails, even just watching a self-help video and laying in the Epsom salt bath for an hour, to me is my reset. It's a great reset. Now, let me ask you this follow-up here. Do you see slowing down as a luxury or a necessity now?
I think it's a necessity. I think we all need to slow down because, gosh, everybody is in a hurry. We see that on our streets. We see that in the number of accidents, pedestrians being hit, whatnot. Everybody is in a hurry. And that's because they have so much that they have to get done in the day. They are not managing their schedule appropriately to not overwhelm themselves. I mean, if you've got an hour commute to work, take that time. You're by yourself in the car, take that time. Mm-hmm. Put on a self-help podcast or whatnot.
Yeah.
Put on something else you like, and take that time, even though traffic is frustrating as F. But, take that time to be alone, anytime. Take advantage.
So you see it more as a necessity.
Yes.
And so do I. And I agree with you. And I'll add that no matter what kind of digital devices or AI, artificial intelligence, is created to practically do everything for us, we still have to have inner peace. We still need to do our part. And we need to slow down to allow our brains to reset and recharge.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredibly important. It doesn't matter.
Hey guys, don't we need to do that to our phone as well?
Yeah.
Let it charge. same thing. We need our charge. And, God made us to recharge while we sleep. That is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're not sleeping, if we're not letting our brain rest
and recoup,
then, then it's out of your control. It's downhill from there.
Yeah, it's absolutely a necessity to recharge every day. I'll tell you this. Yes, there are times where I'm glued to my phone. Maybe some sports scores, maybe some political things happening. There are going to be times where we're all going to be glued and we want to know what happens. But, it's not going to be like that every day. At a certain point, as you're winding down to go to bed at night, check your phone less often. Check it one last time, and then, put it down on your nightstand or whatever holder you have, and get some sleep and just turn everything off. And then wake up the next morning. Yes, you're going to check and see if anything's happening. That's normal. But there has to be a point, after the work day ends, where the evening should be more about family time,
or you time,
or you time. If you're if you're single and you don't have anyone, at least not yet. If you don't have anyone in your life, that should be time for you to reflect and recharge and to just, turn all the craziness off. It is a necessity, and you're right. Now, I'm going to segue into the next segment here. We've explored what overload feels like in theory, babe.
Yeah.
Now, let's step inside a real story that thousands relate to. We have this Reddit posting here that was posted by the original poster 7 months ago. Let's go ahead and switch on over to...
How long is the Reddit?
It's going to be a while. Why? Do you have to go again?
Why don't I go and just try right now? Because...
Do you absolutely have to go?
Well, I do feel some coming, yes. So, but my thought is if I go now, we can get through the Reddit and end the show.
All right. So let me turn off the camera. Dawn is going to take another quick break here, and then we'll get into the Reddit posting here. I'm going to remind you folks once again that if you're listening to us on the audio-only podcast network, such as Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, my lady's favorite is iHeartRadio, Amazon's Audible, or even YouTube's Music, we're there as well, or anywhere else where you may be listening to us throughout the audio-only network, through the less known, the less popular audio-only podcast sites. You can go into the description section, and you'll see a link to the video version on our main YouTube channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. Click that link. You'll be able to see the same thing, but with video. And you can also subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications to connect with us on that main YouTube channel. If you go up in the description of the video, a couple lines down, you'll see a link to our secondary channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where we do daily, if not almost daily, live streams. I walk and do a Walking with Purpose stream around 350 out of the 365 days. They're at least an hour long, sometimes 2 or more hours long. It just depends on the day and how much time I have. We have an informal topic, or we actually do have a formal topic, but we can also talk about informal stuff. It's just a great way to keep in touch with our community. So make sure you subscribe, or you're subscribed to GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development as well. Subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications. We have a lot of great things that are going to be coming to the GNA in 2026. We really want to be your liaison, your one-stop shop. And most things are free. Most things are free. We want to be your one-stop shop to get the information you need to move your life forward and accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires. Get into a career that you love, not just to make money. Maybe segue to becoming a self-employed entrepreneur and not working for somebody else, right? I know all of this is scary. I've been through it, but I did it. And if I can do it, so can you. And we can teach you the proper ways of how to do that. So anyway, Dawn is back. That was quick. Thank you, baby. Ready for you let me know when we can turn the camera back on.
Just gotta get the headphones on.
Mm-hmm. You ready?
Right, I'm good.
Okay. All right. We are in sync. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get on over to the browser screen.
Let's
go.
Over
this Reddit posting here. This is from the subreddit r/Reddit for grownups. Ooh. And the original poster's title states, mentally overwhelmed 24/7 to the point of crashing. What should I do? Mentally overwhelmed 24/7 to the point of crashing. What should I do? Let's get through this.
Let's do this.
This is
I want to know.
But we're going to go through a couple paragraphs, and then we'll do a little commentary, and then we'll keep going, and then we'll go over some comments. I hope I explained this right, but basically I feel like my brain has been exercising every single day, and it is too much sometimes. I mean, I heard of studies saying that the more you use your brain, especially the older you get, your memory retention fares well. And you see older folks trying to learn something new, do crossword puzzles, basically using their brain all the time instead of staying in one mental slump. And you kind of see this too in younger people, where some people seem stuck in high school because they do not do anything else that is mentally challenging after graduating.
I could see that in people who just like play video games after high school with no advancement.
And how often do you see 40 and 50-year-olds nowadays playing video games, even if they're married or have a girlfriend or boyfriend? How many play video games instead of, doing other things more productively with your family or friends?
Well,
right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with occasionally playing some video games as an adult. Like, don't get me wrong. You can do it like occasionally, no big deal. Or even if you're single, you play every night after you work, no big deal. But it's the ones that wake up gaming and stay up late at night gaming. My ex was a big gamer, and he worked night shift, and he would play all night long. He was a security officer, and he would just play all night long, and then
because he had nothing to do, nothing happening,
nothing to do.
He had to be there just to be there.
Yeah. And he'd come home and he'd sleep, and he'd be right back on there.
Lather, rinse, repeat.
Yep. Absolutely. And I didn't understand, but then you know what I thought about it? Every day I watch my shows. I have my routine of the shows that I watch each day.
But that's not part of your job.
No, that's not part of my job.
Right. Your job is more fulfilling than sitting in an office when there's nothing to be a security guard for, just sitting there playing video games because there's nothing better to do. How fulfilling is that?
I would not think that that's fulfilling at all. Mm-hmm. I know when I got not my first retail job, but my second after my last bout of retail. I really felt accomplished, and I liked the challenge. Sometimes the work was a little difficult because, it was a lot of lifting of wine boxes and liquor boxes and stuff like that. So it was strenuously hard. But I felt good because I was like, you know what? I did that today, and I didn't sit on my ass, or I didn't sit in the bar all day. I was productive. I was an active part of society. And I felt good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm not an old woman because I am nearing 30. Well, you're very young.
No shit.
But my whole life I have felt mentally exhausted, but it feels so much worse lately. I grew up being in gifted programs in elementary school, took AP courses in high school, even a 5 a.m. course while doing after-school track, and I thought I was about to fall and die from exhaustion. Went to college and double majored, not to mention Asian parents here whooping me to do better. Stop right there. There is a stigma within the Asian culture that they want their kids to do everything and be smart, and they're more capable than any other ethnicity. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I don't hate anyone. I like Asian people. I like everyone. But the bottom line is, this is a cultural stigma that the Asian immigrants that have first generation kids here are putting that on their kids. This is exactly what this woman is going through. She feels like her parents are spending a lot of money and investing a lot of time, and her parents expect her to be the most gifted person on the planet, and that's putting a lot of pressure on her, mentally exhausting her. How close do you think that's accurate?
Very.
Go ahead.
Very, very accurate. I've used examples of fathers who are coaches that push their kid because they're reliving, like they're living vicariously through their child, things they didn't do. They push their children to do. And, it's the mother who was a nurse now pushing her daughter to be a doctor. Because if she wanted to be a nurse like her mom, that wasn't good enough. She needed to do better than her mom and be the doctor,
Yeah.
And that puts pressure on kids, And so, and a lot of these parents are like, okay, you could be like 3 positions in life. You could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, or you could be CEO of a tech company. That's pretty much only choices that they give them. And, so that's a lot of pressure. I mean, what if they want to be a chef? What if they want to be a tattoo artist?
They should be what they want to be.
Exactly.
As long as it's something respectful and
makes
gives them
money,
a comfortable life.
legitimate money.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that pressure is just.
This is cultural pressure.
It is. It's cultural
pressure.
And it's hard on the younger generations.
She doesn't realize that, and I've read some of the comments, and I don't think they even brought that up, but that's what we're here for.
Nah,
right?
Well, because we are a little older, and we understand.
And we're a lot more self-aware than people in their 30s are.
Okay, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, like we've said, with every time, respect your elders, because we've lived a little longer. We know a little more.
So are you not saying that people that are older aren't more self-aware than people that are younger?
What do you mean by self-aware?
We have a lot more self-awareness because we've learned a lot more. We have a lot more to reference back to be more self-aware as we get older from what we learned. Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, we actually lived through some of the struggles our parents went through.
Absolutely.
And we heard firsthand stories from our grandparents of what they did. Right. And so I think it stopped with our generation, because in our generation, our people are more successful and they didn't have to work so hard as our parents and our grandparents did. So with this next generation of millennials, they think it's just that easy. Okay, mom and dad bought a house right away and had kids and everything was perfect. I'm going to do that right now. But they want to do it without working hard to make the money like a normal person.
They want to skip all the hard parts of it.
They want to instant.
I'm going to go gratification.
I'm going to be a podcaster and a millionaire within a year. Okay, high hopes. There are some people that can do it, but good luck, buddy.
For the majority, no. Nope. All right. Let's continue. Okay. After graduation, I was shortly accepted into a very respectful corporate job, but the exhaustion does not end there. They want new project ideas every year. Well, that's your job.
Every year? Is that hard for your brain? Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, this sounds like she sounds kind of entitled.
She sounds pretty ditzy and dumb.
No, I mean, she sounds entitled, and she sounds like she's frustrated because her parents pushed her to become something that they wanted her to become, not what she wanted to become.
Yeah.
Now, let's continue, and then we'll get more context, okay? Due to certain circumstances, I went back for my master's. Well, your parents pushed you because the cultural thing is, a bachelor's isn't good enough. For the Asian culture, you need to have a master's or a doctorate.
You have to have like a doctorate. Like I said, be a doctor.
Right. And I also switched jobs. But now my new jobs department is restructuring the entire team and starting from scratch. They told me I have free will to utilize all resources to get projects starting. I would love that.
Yeah, I don't see a problem.
I would love to be the one that can start the company over based on me leading a team of people and using my ideas. That is any hiring boss or any job that hires you to do that is trusting and respecting you that you're the most capable to do that.
But that can be overwhelming for people who don't have any experience.
For people that don't have any experience or have been, raised the way she's been raised, being pushed into everything, she feels like she's being pushed when in reality she has one of the best opportunities she will ever get.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. She's
confused because of the way her parents raised her.
Yeah, and like I said, that is overwhelming for young people. Mm-hmm. Even older people. If my boss came to me and was like, "Okay, we need this done, and I need some ideas or whatever. I'm going to put you in charge of that." I would get a little flutter. I'd be a little scared, and then I would just have to tackle it head on and do it and prove that he asked the right person.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anything else, baby?
Nope.
All right. So, you see, it's not just school, but also work life as well. I feel like I have to constantly keep up with business practices, the news, scholarly research, find new solutions nonstop. It is now affecting my personal life to the point I haven't even done taxes yet for this year because I'm too overwhelmed to think about gathering the forms, even though I have always done taxes the moment it opens. Chores left undone, almost forgot to do simple kid stuff like order the school picks or get them ready for field trips. Oh, so she's married? Okay. Well, you didn't give us that context. Seems like she's either married or a single mother. We need to know that because a single mother, I can see her being overwhelmed because of that. If she's married, could be an issue regarding lack of communication between her and her husband or her boyfriend or whatever, right?
Or just lack of support.
Right. Lack of support or something. But all the stuff that she's talking about is just normal everyday stuff for you and I. This is just normal everyday stuff for you and I. She's 30. She's 30, which makes her a millennial.
Makes her the age of my daughter.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just saying it is the age of what my daughter is. Okay. Yeah.
I just want.
I know. Go on. Okay. Get to the point.
I'm setting boundaries because I don't. Okay. Thank you.
Do you understand that is what upsets me more?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. You can talk about it whenever you want. It's just not being pushed into it. I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She's grown up during one of the most entitled generations in our history. She's dealing with parents that are probably immigrants, and she's first generation Asian American. She's got the pressure from them. She's got the millennial generation that completely changed everything, and she's trying to find her way.
Mm-hmm.
This was the perfect article. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. You and I have experience in seeing millennials around this same age or maybe a little older behaving very, very similarly.
Mm-hmm.
This is a global issue that we need to address and help these people through.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about attacking them. It's not about even calling them spoiled, entitled millennials, which I've done that before. It's what they are. That's the truth of the matter, but that should not be the approach we take from this point on. We need to say, hey, look, you've been raised in a society where what other people in your generation are doing is making you feel the way you're feeling when you don't want to feel that way. You don't have to feel that way. You can choose to defy the stereotype, right? Go ahead.
No. You were doing it fine.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I just had hair in my face.
So, but anyway, anything else you want to add to that?
Nope.
I feel like because I'm overwhelmed so much, I'm falling behind overall. But some people live like this, right? Only if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do live like this. I mean, you're taking me back to the days when I was married and I had young children, and the juggling of my career, my motherhood, my education, being married, his career. I mean, y'all know he he's a retired cop. But just that stress, raising young children and knowing he could not come home one night, and that's really stressful. Yeah, if he had a 9-to-5 job, he could also not come home from that, but the worry wasn't there, wouldn't be there as much as it was.
Mm-hmm.
That did become overwhelming. I did feel as if I needed to take more on so that he could have ample rest and be alert for his shifts. And,
Yeah.
So
you did what you thought was best for your family.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah. I did. Yeah. And you have to do that at times. You have to switch roles with your spouse or your partner, whatever, that, if somebody is going through a struggle, that other person's supposed to be there to help you, and vice versa. So I it's just hard for me because, yeah, she's sounding like a brat because all of us Gen Xers that have children have done that, and we did it in our sleep.
But is it her fault? I will say no.
No.
You know whose fault I say it is? It's the parents. In this case,
parents and the educators that they're having.
And here's the thing. It may only be one out of the two parents to blame, because sometimes parents have different parenting styles. I mention that out of respect for you.
Oh, yeah. We had way different.
Because you and your ex-husband, and you've said it's okay to talk about this generally, okay? You and your ex-husband had two different parenting styles. And I'm not saying this because you're my girlfriend. I'm saying this because it's the truth.
Yeah.
Your parenting style was the right way, and his was, in my opinion, extremely conservative, more, just different, right?
I'm not going to sit here and say one way was right, one way was wrong. But the discussions we had about the children
were far apart.
Right. I should have known better. Right. I'm a Giants fan. He was an A's fan. There was no way it was going to work out,
Oh, I like the A's, baby. I like the A's and the Giants. If he was a if he was a Dodgers fan, I wouldn't have even dated him. He was a Dodgers fan, right? Yeah.
I wouldn't have even dated him.
Probably not.
But yeah, so I should have known. We were on opposite sides of the bay. So
sounds like opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, bottom line is, there were issues that we did not agree on. And eventually that's what came down to the, divorce and separation. And, it's unfortunate because that led, it wasn't just parenting, but then it was also money and what he thought was important to do and what I thought was important to do with our money.
You were too far apart in everything.
Yes, too far apart. Mm-hmm. So,
yep.
We did the right thing.
You and I are much closer.
Yes.
We're less far apart. And that's why it works. And that's what you have to aim for when you find a partner. That's why I say opposites don't attract. The closer, you don't need to be exactly alike, because then that wouldn't work either. But if you're too far apart, that doesn't work either. You gotta have more similarities than differences, which is what I'm trying to say. All right, should we continue?
Yeah.
Okay. But some people live like this, right? Not only if you have to, especially scientists, researchers, or scholarly professors, constantly learning something new every day, right? Not that I'm calling myself that, but there must be a way on how they cope. This is normal. I watch the news every day. I read stuff every day. I enjoy that. It sounds like to me she's not enjoying just normal everyday aspects of life. It sounds like she's highly introverted, or her parents have brainwashed her into, doing exactly what her parents feel she should do. I think she's feeling controlled.
I think she feels trapped.
Trapped is a better word. Trapped, right?
Yeah, trapped in a situation where, she frankly, she can't make anybody happy. She can't make herself happy. She can't make her parents happy. Mm-hmm. She can't make the employer happy if she's not in it.
Right.
So it's like, it goes back to her happiness and her love for herself. And I don't think she was raised to have love for herself.
Oh, she was raised. I'm not sure if her parents were in the military or not. But I'm going to say she was raised almost like military style. Very strict. Probably very strict father. That was the dominant one, or that's the dominant one. The mother's probably very old-fashioned, traditional. Listens to everything that the father says, even if she disagrees. She wants to keep the father happy. The father's a provider of the mother and the kid, right, or the kids, right? So a lot of this has to do with one parent being extremely old school. They haven't adapted to the modern way, traditional cultural stuff. Like the Asian culture is very big on that. I mean, every culture has their traditional stuff. My dad was this way, but my dad also realized as we got older that he just wants us to be happy and make something out of ourselves. Not necessarily what he wishes for us, but something respectful that he can say, hey, I'm proud of my sons. Right?
Yeah.
I'm proud of my kids, right? But I can understand the cultural thing. That's what I think is really happening here. Anything else you want to add before?
Yeah, because, I like to watch a lot of cooking shows, and there's a chef, Jet Tila, and his parents did not want him to get into cooking. They wanted him to do something more sustainable, something more secure.
And he's probably making more money doing this now.
Right now, he is like on top of his game. He's like a best-selling author of cookbooks. He is obviously a restaurant owner, several restaurants, and
he's probably got more money than his parents do.
Yeah, and that's my point, is if you let your child follow their passion, then they will be successful. That's the thing. You cannot force anything on anybody. Follow your passion, people.
You want to know? And I'm not giving up on myself, and I'm not trying to shoot myself down, but here's a perfect example of my situation. A lot of people, including my family, over the years have told me, stop the YouTube thing, stop the content creating and all that, and focus on something else, But this is what I love, right? And I don't give up on what I love, and I know I can make this work. I can make this work, and I will make this work. And listen, I'm not trying to predict the future, but 3-4 years down the road, if we're making $3, $4, $5 million a year doing this, and then I go to my family and say, here's $1 million for you, Mom. Here's $1 million for you, bro. Here's $1 million for you, Aunt, and a couple million for us, right? Okay. Their attitudes will change.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, holy shit, you didn't give up.
Jet Tila still gets shit from his parents.
What's that?
Jet Tila still gets shit from his parents.
Well, I'm sure he's giving them money and he's taking care of them. But you know what? If you're going to get shit after you do that, then I don't know what to tell you. Then I don't know. Maybe he's jealous. Maybe his parents are jealous of their own kid that's out earned them.
Well, because they've been forced into what their parents wanted them to do, and they weren't able to go out and maybe find their passion or what they their art that they have inside of them.
Or maybe they feel the way that we're making money nowadays using the media and stuff like that
is not work.
Is an easy way to make the money, and you really didn't truly earn it, right?
Well, and people don't think of it as actual work.
Right.
They don't think it's a 9-to-5 job. You know?
Right. But if you're making millions a year doing it,
then
fucking
it's
more money than you'd ever make at any 9-to-5 fucking job, even as an executive.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
So, in that situation, then everyone can kiss my ass, including my family. I love my family. Don't get me wrong. Listen, no disrespect. But if I'm bringing in $5 million a year, if we're bringing in $5 million a year doing this in a few years from now, and they're still pissed, I'll tell my own family to go kiss my ass, and here's $1 million a piece still. I would give them the money and then say kiss my ass afterwards. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. That's what's right to do.
And then we would hug and kiss and make up, and we forget about it. Let's continue.
You guys would have some Metaxa and just
Ouzo,
laugh.
Metaxa.
Yeah, Ouzo. well.
Just one because I don't want to die.
Well,
babe.
not you, but your brother and your aunt will have a couple.
Yeah, my aunt likes brandy.
Yeah, but she likes the Metaxa.
She likes the Metaxa, yes. 7-star, not the 5-star. The 7-star is the better one. All right, let's continue here. The last part here. We're at 1 hour and 51 minutes. We're going to finish this up and then read a couple comments and then we're done. Okay.
Great.
Long story short, what do you do when you're so overwhelmed to the point you want to throw out your whole schedule, but you can't because they're important and must be done anyways? When I walk outside, I feel like I should let my foot slip and just fall. Foot slip and fall and just crash on the sidewalk. I want to let my brain die. This woman is overwhelmed, in my opinion, by trying to please everyone besides herself.
Yeah.
She's trying to primarily please probably her dad, but maybe her dad and her mom. I think her dad is the dominant one in this relationship or in the marriage of his parents. Strict, traditional Asian cultural roots, Asian immigrant parents that they came over here. They're probably, maybe her dad's a doctor or somebody prominent, right? Doctor, prominent attorney or something like that, right? Maybe they wanted their daughter to go into that field instead of the one she went into. I just think she's massively confused because of her parents' expectations and the stigma of her generation, which has received the strongest stigma in the history of any generation as spoiled and entitled.
Yeah, that is true.
She fits the bill of a typical millennial, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, she does have very millennial
roots
and behavior.
Yeah, but again, that stems from her parents, and the parents are the ones to blame. The bottom line is one or both of the parents are to blame for these millennials even getting that stigma. They created these kids. They gave them birth and they raised them and they pushed them into doing certain things, or they didn't push them at all and just entitled them and enabled them to just be taken care of. So they didn't learn any responsibility. It's both those aspects. Go ahead. Anything?
Oh no. When I had my children, I never forced them into anything, but I had them try everything that they wanted to. So they wanted to try karate. Okay, let's try karate. If you're not interested, we'll move into something else, so that they could find exactly what their niche was and what they really liked doing. And I found with my son, he did like karate for a short time. He played Pop Warner for a short time, and then he did play Little League, and then he kind of grew out of it. Just grew out of playing sports, even though we encouraged that and he had fun. He just went another route,
Yeah.
And now he's living his best life, and he actually does want to be a chef. And I support that wholeheartedly. I love my cooking shows and I love to eat. So couldn't tell by my size, but I do.
Okay. Anything else, baby?
Nope.
Okay. A few comments here. 1 hour and 54 minutes. I'm picking comments that
Are relevant.
are not extremely long or unnecessary, but my nephew's parents put him in a gifted program. They were so proud of him at the time. Since junior high school, he has a video gaming addiction. In his 40s now, he's done nothing. Gifted programs are a way to make parents feel better. Anything you want to add to that before I read a response to that?
Oh, yeah, because a lot of times, parents will be so proud that they'll not even introduce their child by their name, but they'll be like, oh, this is my honor student, so and so. It's like they put a title on them, for pride, or even to show somebody else that their child is better than theirs, I find that happening a lot, like I did.
A lot of these millennials I've noticed, I see a lot of them running their YouTube channels, and I've even seen many of them mention critical thinking skills, which I think most of them struggle with critical thinking skills, and they try to hide the fact that they struggle with it by saying we have better critical thinking skills than other generations.
Well, and I don't blame the parents for that. I blame the internet for that.
But here's the thing. Critical thinking skills, if they actually had them, they wouldn't be behaving like this woman. They'd be able to analyze and say, what I'm complaining about here is average, everyday, normal stuff that any generation has had to deal with. It's just a part of normal life, and they're not even realizing that. So when you question their critical thinking skills, that's a great example right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay.
Go on.
Anything else you want to mention regarding that?
Nope.
Okay. The response to that from another Reddit commenter is, gifted programs are truly for those of us that struggle with regular school and have elevated IQ. They don't solve all problems or guarantee fancy careers, and they can't fix the rest of the world, teach parents to set their kids up better for success, which is what we've been talking about, or make sure aunties don't get too judgmental with their nibblings. There is a limit to what these programs can accomplish. Well, the limit is within the individual person. How much can they tolerate? What are they open to? What are they not open to? In order to benefit in a maximum way from anything, you have to be open to it first.
Yeah.
Just like us wanting to help the world become a better place, wanting people to become better people, and wanting to help people through our personal development teachings. If they're not open to that from anyone, let alone us, it's not going to matter. They have to want to make the change. They have to want to learn and make a difference. And a lot of them, because of the way they've been raised, they're struggling with that. And a lot of them struggle with thinking that accepting help from somebody else like us gives up authority or makes them feel like, they're allowing authority over them. That's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not the case. And the reason why they feel that way is because their parents have pushed authority on them from a young age to try to develop them to become what the parents want them to become, not what the kids want to become. Right? Does that make sense? Go ahead.
Yeah, it does. But I also think that, tough love is very important in raising children. As an adult, there came to a point where my dad was like, no more. I'm not bailing you out hypothetically or whatever, of whatever problem you're in, you're on your own. And I realized at that point that I really had to turn my shit around and be an adult and Like, he's like, I raised you to the age of 18. That's my obligation. What you do from there, that's on you, kid.
Absolutely. And that's the way it should be.
And that's what it should be. He's like, I've got to cut it off because you've got to learn how to live on your own. Duh.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Let's read a few more comments here. We are at 1 hour and 59 minutes, almost at 2 hours. We're about to wrap this up in just a few. Have you taken a vacation recently? A good long one of 2 weeks. My job had similar requirements and I found that I needed some breaks. Fortunately, by the time I needed this, my company gave me 5 weeks of vacation or sick leave a year. It really helps to totally, and I mean totally, unhook from work and enjoy your family. Yeah, you got to take your vacations. I mean, you know, some people like to bank their vacations. Different states, different countries allow you to bank a certain level before you start to lose them, or they force you to take a vacation. Others don't force you. Regardless, you've got to take your vacations. And, you know, my advice would be to take at least 2 vacations a year, a week apart. Whether you're getting paid or not, you need to rest and recoup. You're going to drive yourself crazy if you don't. What are your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, it just also goes back to the family thing. When you can shut down and turn off that life and just have like a week with your family, your kids, you know, rebuilding those connections. Then when you do have to go back to work, you just, you know, connect on that level you've already started. And then that way it's no more work. You know, you build up everything slowly as you can, you know, just, you know, like they said, they didn't build Rome in a day.
You're right. I've got one more comment I'm going to read here, then the response, because it's very interesting. We're going to end the show on a great note. We're at 2 hours and 1 minute. So let's go back to here. A little journey highlighted the part where the original poster stated, but some people live like this, right? Especially scientists, researchers, or scholarly professors constantly learning something new every day, right? Okay, so this is what Lil Journey wrote, okay? It's a few paragraphs, so we'll go through it a couple paragraphs at a time. Like 4 or 5 paragraphs. Learning something new every day isn't an issue, friend. I learn something new every day just here on Reddit. Learning in and out of itself isn't this frantic struggle that you're dealing with. And that's what I was saying all along. She's complaining about things that are normal, average, everyday things for most normal people, which to me shows some entitlement, or the way she was raised was in a controlling way to be what the parents wanted her to be.
Maybe she was an only child.
Could be.
That plays a role also.
Maybe so. But she wasn't, it sounds like to me she hasn't been allowed to be herself. She is struggling to find herself, in my opinion. Wouldn't you say? I mean, is that a fair assessment?
I agree. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You simply have reached a point where what you and those around you are expecting, demanding of you, exceeds your capacity to function effectively. Like your parents, it's the same thing. This person understands it. Every person has that limit, and it sounds like you have passed yours. What she needs to do is say, Dad, please cut me some slack. I can't take this anymore. I'm trying to do what makes me happy, pay my bills, live a normal life, and be good to the family. Dad, please, like this is a parental thing. This woman is struggling to be who she's supposed to be, not be what her parents want her to be. It's like raising a fucking robot. And that's unfortunately.
And then your robot goes like rogue.
Right. It's like, yes, I understand the Asians had a huge part in making AI what it is today, but you don't want your kids to be AI. For Christ's sake, it sounds like this family wants her kid to be an AI robot of exactly what they want.
Yeah.
This is really affecting her. It is affecting her, right?
Well, I think like they were talking about gifted programs and all of that stuff, with so many people now being recognized on the spectrum, that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot more autism.
Mm-hmm.
What is the other one? Autistic and something else.
Autism and what else?
There's something else. I can't remember, but there's another one.
ADHD?
Well, yeah, but there was one I was thinking of in particular. It'll come to me.
Okay. Shall we
But
continue?
what I'm saying is a lot of these kids who are gifted in these ways, it's not that they are smarter than the other kids. It's just they are at a higher level of learning. I should say they absorb it better than your average student. And then that puts pressure on them because they're not like the regular kids in school. And then I think they become a little introverted because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it hard for them to integrate into the world.
Yeah.
That is my thought.
No, you're right.
And I'll leave it at that.
You're right. I think it stems from her parents, probably more so her father. That's just me. That's my best guess based on the information that we have. All right. Burnout isn't just a phrase. It is a real condition. And your post sounds like it may be applicable to you. Your brain, body are telling you that you've pushed too hard for too long, doing too much. Often gifted individuals feel/are taught that they are superhuman and thus should exceed past all reasonable expectations. An example, her parents, especially her father, pushing her to be this. Gifted individuals are instead simply human. They have more capacity in some areas, but still have limits, need rest, experience all the emotions, etc., like all other humans. Right? Doesn't matter how smart you are. Your brain needs to rest, just like anyone else's brains need to rest, regardless of how smart they are. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Listen to your needs. Give yourself some strategic rest, making you plan /lifestyle moving forward. Yeah, she needs to basically stand up to her parents and let them know, hey, you know what? I did everything that you said. I am struggling to just even enjoy living right now. That's what she's questioning life right now, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her because
I don't think she's to a point of suicide.
No. She's not suicidal.
She's questioning what her purpose is in life.
What her purpose is in life. What is my purpose in life? That's a better way to put it. Thank you. No, if I'm going to reference suicide, I'll say that, but anyone could misperceive that, and that was a great correction. Thank you so much. That's why it's the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast, not the Eli and Don, because she's my smarter half and better half. One more comment here because of what you mentioned. Do you have ADHD or autism? It's probably burnout related to those conditions. It's unsustainable. You must rest. Either way, anyone can have that feeling or burnout. I think it's more the millennial syndrome.
Well, let's think about some of these kids. A lot of these kids are nonverbal because of the overload of what's in their head.
She didn't respond to that, but go ahead.
Oh, not to that comment?
No.
Oh, yeah, but that's what I'm saying is they're nonverbal. They're not expressing everything that's in their head. And then, it's hard for them.
Yeah. All right. Back to full screen. So let's wrap this up. We have segment 6 here, which is some closing reflections. After hearing all this, Dawn, do you think overload is something we can fix or something we have to learn to live with consciously?
I think it's something that we can learn to, I want to say adapt, but make change and adapt to that change. you got to make the change first.
Fair enough. I mean, I agree. And let me ask you, babe, if you could give one final thought to anyone listening or watching who feels mentally maxed out, what would it be?
Take a break. Take a break for yourself. Go get a cup of coffee.
You're worth it.
Yeah, you're worth it.
You're worth it.
Go get your nails done. Go visit a friend you haven't seen in a while. You're worth it. Take time for you. Even if you have to just on your lunch break at work, sit there and listen to a meditation thing on YouTube. Take that time to check out of life.
Right.
Just absolutely shut down. And then you're going to feel refreshed and ready to, take on a couple more battles.
Amen, babe. One final question for you. I have nothing to add because, I mean, your responses are honestly 99.9% of mine. There's no need to even argue it. It's that close, right? What's your biggest personal lesson about slowing down, not as a slogan, but as a survival skill?
Well, personally in my life, I had to learn how to slow down, like way down.
Oh, God.
I was going a million miles a minute. Yes.
A second.
Yeah. I mean, I had so much going on in my life with my job. I was, assistant manager, so I had a lot of responsibility, my time's there. Then I had my dart league and then, just other things that I had obligations to throughout the week or, like if me and the girls wanted to go do a paint night, even though that's going to be a nice time to relax, it all has to fit into your schedule and not overwhelm you.
Right.
You've just got to make sure you don't overbook and you don't stress yourself out. Behind you.
Oh, I was looking for the big guy. He's right here. The little guy's right here. He doesn't like his butt slapped.
He doesn't like it.
His butt pat, He's like,
you just go pat, 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 pat.
He's 15 pounds and he thinks he's like 100. He's got to be the toughest 15-pound Dachshund ever. Like he goes with the bigger 45-pound dog, Bochi. Anyway.
Yeah, I've always joked I should have named him Scrappy Doo.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, but you're a Giants fan, so Bochi
yeah. Well, I'm also a Scooby fan.
Buster. Oh, okay. Anything else, babe?
No, honey, I think we nailed it. It was a great show.
Yeah. Time can't be stretched, but attention can be focused.
Yes. And,
yeah. I mean, that's just the best way for me to
we got 24 hours a day, guys. Let's space it out, take time for ourselves, get our things done.
Get your priorities straight.
Yeah, get your priorities straight throughout your day. Plan what you need to do, maybe based on your work schedule and how that fits into your social life. And, because that's really important. If you're in a relationship, you really need to take time and have a date night. Have something where you do put down the devices and just spend time with each other. A great one to do that at is the movies. Yeah. Seriously. But it just stuff like that. People need to slow down and they need to take time for themselves and their loved ones. And maybe being with your loved ones is the self-care you need.
Amen. Anything else, baby?
Nope, I think I nailed that.
You did. You nailed it. And because of that, I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Well done, baby. Is it time to start wrapping things up, baby?
I think so, baby.
All right, it's time to start wrapping things
up.
All right. You've been listening to the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. This has been episode number 29, which was titled Running Out of Time, Life in an Age of Overload. Again, running out of time, life in an age of overload. Go back and watch and or listening to this again, if you want to refresh everything we talked about, the more you listen over and over again, the better you're going to learn all the principles that we teach. With that being said, baby.
One more, baby.
Real quick.
And in the comments, you can always leave any comment for us or any suggestion that you would like us to talk about or possibly be a guest on our podcast. So that's open to you, and I'm back to the man.
Absolutely, and thank you to the lady. Okay, so just to remind all of you folks that are listening to us audio only on Apple, Spotify, Amazon's Music, your very favorite baby, iHeartRadio, Amazon's Audible, and also YouTube's Music or any of the other less popular and less known audio-only podcast networks. If you're listening to this audio-only and you want to check out the video version, click the link in the description section wherever you're listening to this audio-only. That'll take you back to our main channel, G&A, Genuine Personal Development. Make sure you subscribe, bang the bell, and select all notifications so you don't miss anything. Then go below the description section of that video. A couple lines down, you'll see the link to our secondary channel, G&A2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where we go live, if not every day, almost every day. So that is that. With that being said, baby, it's time to go. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, baby, be good to each other.